Hey guys, back for another review. This time we're going to talk about Atlantic Park Surf in Virginia Beach. I was just there about a month ago and I kind of wanted to go over the park, so if you have never been there before, it'll be a little bit easier because some things were a little bit of a challenge to try to figure out because I'd never been there before. So anyway, as far as parking goes, when you do your reservation, you're going to do it online, and there'll be a right or a left. So if you're a regular foot surfer, you want to pick the right. If you're a goofy footer, which means your right foot is on the front of the board, you would go to your left for the most part. You can surf either side, but generally most people want to surf front side and not back side. So those are the sides you're going to want to go to. So you select your section that you want to do. There's like every day has a different selection of like beginner, novice, pro. They have different things. And then you can kind of go on there, select what times they usually have. Like for the beginner, I think they only have like 2 times that were available during the day that I selected. And you can pick right or left depending on if they're booked up or not. So once you do that, you'll have your reservation. I did one with a group lesson. I think it was like $120 or $125 for the session, which is an hour session. Includes your training ahead of time. They give you a board. You can get a wetsuit if it's cold, depending on when you go. I chose to do a wetsuit because I hate cold water, and during the time I was there, there was some storms and stuff, so it was kind of cold. The sun was not out, so I wore a wetsuit. So once you do that, you pay for it, you have your day selected, you show up. They want you to show up. I think when I got there, they wanted you there at least, I think it was like a half hour prior. So got there early. I did not know where to park or anything like that. They don't really talk about that on their website, and in any of the YouTube videos I saw, I didn't see anything about that. So I found out from one of the locals there that the parking lot is on off of Pacific and 17th Street. There's a 7-Eleven right there that's on the corner of 17th and Pacific Avenue. And if you go behind the 7-Eleven on 7th and driving down 17th Street, you'll actually see a parking lot right behind there. You'll drive in there and park, and directly across from that parking lot is the front entrance of Atlantic Park Surf. I will put a photo in right here to show you what the front entrance looks like. Okay, so after you get into the parking lot, you'll see like I said, I showed you the picture of the front door. So you walk through those doors that I just showed you, you'll go up to the front desk, you'll check in there. I met with a lady named Myra. I actually went the day before because I was a little bit nervous about like where am I supposed to go, how am I supposed to check in. I didn't want to screw anything up. So I actually went there the day before. She kind of gave me a tour of the facility, super cool. She gave me my wristband, and she explained to me that this is what was getting me through the gates. Also would get me into a locker if I wanted to rent a locker. So I got that the day before. So the day of my session, I showed up, rechecked in, let them know I was there, used my wristband to go right through the gates. You go to the right if you're facing the check-in desk. You go through some doors, gates, to your right, and then to the left you'll see some surfboards set up there. There's a bunch of surfboards. That's where you're going to go to check in for your wetsuit if you want one, depending on when you go. When I went, there were some storms and stuff. The water was kind of cold for me. I hate cold water, so I decided to go with a wetsuit. Checked in with Kobe. He was super cool dude. Hooked me up. You can either get I believe you can get a back zip wetsuit or a chest zip. I decided to do a chest zip since I hadn't used one before. I wanted to try it out. They have rip curl stuff. So I got my wetsuit, gave me my towel, continue to go straight through past the check-in or the gate, or the area I should say, where you get your wetsuit, and there's a locker room. Bathrooms. Inside the bathrooms they have showers, toilets, lockers. I did find out because of course all this stuff is not put on their website, so you don't really know. The lockers, they charge you. So if you want a locker and lock it, you can actually use it without locking it. But if you want to lock it and secure your gear, you have to pay for it. I think it was like $6. So I had to go back to the Kobe and talk to him, and he said, yeah, it's $6. So I rented the locker, went back in. Your band is actually what locks your locker and unlocks your locker. So you actually hold it up. There's a little sensor on the locker, whatever one you pick. You don't have to tell them ahead of time. You just go in there, you select one, you hit your band on there, and it actually locks it. And then when you come back, you unlock it with your band. So after you check in, do all that stuff, get dressed, whatever you're going to do, whether you're going to be in board shorts or you're going to do in your wetsuit, you go out. There's a little section on each side, whether you choose the right or the left, and they have a little like fake grass area where you'll meet up with your instructor if you're going to do a beginner lesson. They'll have all the boards out there for you. The one thing I will say that I did not like is they really didn't have any kind of like announcement or anything saying they were getting ready to do the lesson. You just kind of have to be over there kind of watching, because if you're walking around checking things out, like I was kind of walking around wasting time talking to some people, and I almost got there a little bit late. So to actually get with my instructor and do the lesson, because it's a group lesson. I think there's like 10 people in a lesson, I believe. Don't quote me on that. So did my lesson. First of all, let me backtrack. Before you go to your lesson area, you have to go get a shirt. So they have different colored shirts, which coincides with what session you're on. So like they have blue, yellow, red, whatever. You go over there, you tell them your size, they give you a shirt for whatever session you're going to do. You tell them like, hey, I'm doing a beginner lesson at 11:15 or whatever. And they'll give you you're going to be yellow. They'll give you a shirt. You put it on over your either your chest or your wetsuit, whatever, if you're not wearing a wetsuit. So get your jersey, go back over. They'll go over everything, kind of teach you how to do a pop-up. They'll show you how to paddle, kind of positioning on the board. And then, so we had two instructors. The two instructors we had were Aiden and Dylan. Both were super cool guys. They made everybody feel super comfortable. They're very encouraging. Never looked at you like you're a kook or you don't know what the hell you're doing, and made you feel like crap. They were super encouraging. Liked both of those guys a lot. They were very helpful. So after you get your on the ground lesson, then they let you go to the pool. You guys walk out. As you go to your side, so they have two different sides. They have the left side and the right side. Whatever session you're on, you'll go through like a little walkway into the pool. If you're doing the right side, you'll actually paddle out on the left part of that right side pool. And there's like a little channel there. You can walk out pretty far before you have to start paddling. So because I was a noob and haven't surfed in forever, I was out of shape, which I wish I would have been in better shape for this. But you can walk out quite a ways, and then you can start paddling. You paddle out. There's like a little channel that actually kind of like the water circulates almost like in a circle. So kind of comes from the right and will make its way to the left, and you can like use it almost like a rip to get out and help you paddle out. They will tell you a certain part of the pool to stop at, and you guys kind of all float around, and the instructor will be there, and he'll call you up. You kind of line up in a line, and then he'll call you up each time and have you he'll push you into the wave. I think the first time they had us go without having us get pushed into the wave, just to see what we could do, see if we needed help or not. And so we go on the first wave, and it's weird. I don't remember the timing, but they're constant waves. And then you get like a little break, and you get a lull where I think they reset the pool, and that's at the end of certain time frame. And then, which is nice because it makes it a little bit easier to paddle back out. You're not having to fight the waves. But like I had a bunch of kids in my session that were young and in shape and didn't get tired, so they kept paddling, and I took my time just getting out there so I didn't get exhausted. It will, believe me, if you haven't done it before, you're not in super good shape, it will kick your butt. But you go out there, they'll push you into the waves after the first one, and it wasn't super easy, but it wasn't super hard. If you have any kind of balance at all, like if you ever skateboarded or snowboarded or anything like that, it's a lot easier for you to stand up, and it was pretty cool. Oh, the one thing I will tell you guys, they'll put you on a long foamy board. The one thing I did find out is the board I was using at first was like I think it was like an 8-foot board, and it's pretty wide. I think it was like 23 or 24 inches wide anyway. And I was able to get up on it, but it was a little bit more of a struggle, just because it didn't seem like it was as stable. So what the guy did tell me was that they had one other board that's a wider board, and he says, hey, let me know if you want to try that. So instead of wasting my whole pool time struggling to try to get up on the other board, I think they have Odyssey boards, he got this other board that was from Rocket, which is, I eventually found out it was called the Surf School model. And it's like 28 or 29 inches wide. It's super wide, super stable, so much better. If you guys are gonna go there and you've never done it before, maybe you're an older guy like me, or not very stable on your feet, I would ask them to use it. I don't know if they have more than one. I think they only had one of those boards there, but if you do go there, it's a white board, and it's Rocket is the brand. So yeah, definitely get that Rocket board. That board is awesome. It'll definitely help you catch more waves. Don't waste your time trying to struggle to get up with a board that's too thin or too short, because it definitely sucks, and you're paying the money. You want to catch as many waves as possible. I will tell you, you will get, and I think I told you this earlier, you're going to get tired because you catch a crap ton of waves. It's just wave after wave after wave. They go in session so that you do get a little break. You'll be able to paddle out and just kind of float on your board out there for a little bit, and then the waves will kick off again. So after you do your session, it's about an hour long. There's a little, also back up, there's a little bit of there's an electronic board that you'll see as you're paddling out to your left-hand side that has a screen on it. It'll actually tell you how much time you have left, so you'll kind of be able to see it. So if you're, like trying to get those last few waves in, and you're like, okay, how much time do I have left? And you want to try to get in as quickly as you can so you can catch a couple more waves before the end of the session, you can check up there. The instructors will tell you too, that if you don't see it, they'll like tell you, hey, you got like 15 minutes left, if you ask them. They're not going to tell you unless you ask, so you have to ask. So once you get done with your session, you'll all exit the pool. You'll go back to where you did your land lesson, take off your shirt, hand that back in, put your board back down where it was, and then you can go into the locker room and take your shower. If you want to take a shower there, I did, because I wanted to change, get back into my regular clothes. Turn in your wetsuit at the counter where you got it, checked in at. So I'm trying to think of anything else that was kind of important that you need to know. I think that was pretty much it. I will say that the Rip Curl wetsuit that I used was super awesome. I found out it was a Dawn Patrol, so it was a super cool wetsuit. If you're looking for a good wetsuit, that might be one to look at if you're not too familiar with them or haven't tried any of them. It was I think it was a 3-2, and it was super comfortable. I'm 6'2", about 215, and I was able to fit into an extra large, which was actually out of the range. When I went back and looked at it, it was actually over the range as far as weight goes for their size, but it fit. It was a little bit tight, but that's kind of what you want. So anyway, could look at Rip Curl. I'm not obviously not sponsored by Rip Curl or by Rocket. I wish I was, but I'm not. So Rocket or Rip Curl, if you want to sponsor me, holler at your boy. But yes, they both make really good products. This Rocket surfboard was awesome, and the Rip Curl wetsuit, if I can talk, was awesome. So anyway, kind of sum this up because we're going kind of long. Was it worth it? Yes, it was definitely worth it. I would definitely do it again, and I would say for the money, you're gonna catch way more waves than you will in the ocean because they're just constant. They're coming at you. I would not, unless you're in really good shape. If you're a beginner like me, and unless you're super good shape, I would not try to do more than one session unless you're going to do like a session in the morning and then they have another session at night, because I was smoked after that session. And I know the guy that had surfed the session before our beginning session, who had also surfed with us in the beginning session, he was getting smoked because that's a lot of paddling, and you're, like I said, you're just catching nonstop waves. You really don't have any rest. So anyway, you guys definitely go out. If you're thinking about checking out Atlantic Park Surf and you're kind of on the fence, don't go do it. It's awesome. I'm gonna clip in a clip of one of the guys surfing to kind of give you an idea of what the wave looks like. This is not the beginner wave. This is like the novice wave, I believe, intermediate wave. Some dude ripping. So anyway, I'll show you a little clip here. So you have a chance to see what it's like. But it's super cool. People there were awesome. You couldn't ask for any better people. Everybody I met there was super nice, super helpful. Don't get nervous and be like thinking, oh, I'm a kook, I'm brand new, you know, people are gonna make fun of me or they're gonna look down at me. They won't, believe me. Anyway, anybody out there that has any questions, feel free to leave them any comments. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to this video if you liked it. If you got anything out of it and it was helpful, please like and subscribe to my videos. I'm going to be doing some other videos coming up. I'm going to try to do some beginner surfer videos. So I'm starting out. I surfed before about 10 years ago. Haven't done it in a while. I was still a beginner back then, and I'm kind of a beginner all over again. So I'm going to do some beginning surfer videos. I'm going to try to get a couple shapers on and do some interviews with some shapers to kind of give some helpful hints to you guys out there about maybe what to look for when purchasing a board, maybe some wetsuit stuff. Obviously, I said Rip Curl was pretty good. I haven't really tried out any other wetsuits, so I'm not too sure about what else might be good. But anyway, we'll do some more beginning surfing videos. So catch me on the next one. Talk to you guys later.